Well, our next guest is the CEO of Leo Burnett across South Asia. Dheeraj Sinha is an award-winning strategist in Asia, and he has led his teams to win over 50 awards, including a gold for effectiveness at the Cannes Lions in 2017. And remarkably, of Leo Burnett's global network of 86 agencies, he has made the Indian agency be awarded the #1 agency of the year. And it's a great pleasure to welcome Dheeraj Sinha to TSB. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
It's great to speak to you. Well, when you have a huge company like Leo Burnett, which many people probably outside PR and advertising are aware of due to its success, and an agency which has got such a global footprint, it must feel you must feel very proud to be able to take the Indian Leo Burnett to #1 across the globe.
Yeah, it is. I think the beauty of this business is that you're talking about creativity and therefore you're talking about human talent. So it doesn't really matter where you operate from. I mean, you could be sitting in India, Brazil, South Africa, for all you know.
Yeah.
But if you do great work, you can make a global impact, your impact is not limited to your geography. And that's what we are proud of, that being in India, we are right now #1 in Asia Pacific, and we are knocking on the doors of the world.
Good on you, and good luck with it. You talk about the importance of creativity. Every business is either talking about Chat GPT or they've incorporated an artificial intelligence. Here in the Middle East, Dheeraj, we are reading about how the Kuwait News Network has got an AI newsreader to read the news that goes out each evening.
Awesome.
When you hear about this sort of work, how important is it to be able to teach creativity, and also within your business and within the culture to be able to encourage creativity and also sometimes the mistakes that come along with it?
So I love what's happening with the generative AI piece, right? I love Chat GPT, Midjourney, so on and so forth, because I feel it'll do a couple of things. One is it will take the drudgery out of creativity. So I will, and my team will not be investing hours and hours of their time generating 100 social media posts, but our time will get freed to do what we really like and what we really are capable of, which is making connections which technology cannot, right? That's what human beings and instinct and emotions can help you do. So it will in fact free us up from the long tail, from the drudgery, and set us up for doing what we really want to do. And I feel that this will only up the game on creativity, because if the basic is being generated by AI, if in your category, if AI is reading out the basic news, then who do you go to for opinion? Who do you go to for analysis? And that's where the human beings come into play.
Well, you come to TSB, you come to our show for personality. That's what we always say. You know, you've got to come somewhere for entertainment and find a way to be able to disseminate that information. But in your work, and obviously in your success, and you're often speaking about the importance in the power of people. So democratize leadership, the power of the collective, mutant DNA, empowering the youth. How do you teach that? Because certainly in many Asian countries, there is a very much a sort of a master and a commander sort of process that I am the boss, and a lot of workers are really happy to just, my job is for you to do what you tell me to do, and I do it to the best of my ability. How do you culturally change that so that everyone can have an impact on the future of a business?
Yeah, I think it's a difference between boomers and millennials and Gen Z, right? I think millennials were brought up with a sense of I, me, myself. I want to, the whole hustle culture. I want to reach up, I want to reach faster. I might pull a few people down while I'm at it, and so on and so forth. But while we're looking at Gen Z, right, we're seeing a sense of collaboration, a sense of people, a sense of collective, a sense of growing together, right? And they want a voice, they have an opinion, they want a voice. And therefore, the whole distributed leadership idea works for them, because they want to say in the whole game, and they want to win together, right? And therefore, once you put power in their hands, it's also scary for them, because with power comes accountability. And to my mind, that's the best thing I would have probably done, of saying, I am not Leo Burnett, you are Leo Burnett, each one of you is Leo Burnett, and what you do counts, and what you do also has implications. And it's amazing how that pushing down of power and pushing down of accountability works wonders for the organization.
What a great line of management. It's very much like the fan who's on the field thinking, oh, I could have caught that. Oh,
Yeah,
why did he play that shot? Oh, I could have done that better. And you're like, well,
yeah,
you go out there and have a go because
yeah,
yeah, we talk about this in leadership, that it's so easy to be critical when you're on the ground floor. You don't know
yeah,
the decisions and the pressures, and you tend
yeah,
to underestimate the role of your higher management.
yeah,
That's a great campaign to be able to say to many people that are speaking up about things, to say, no, well, you can have a go
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, take that shot. And I think it's both ways, right? One is that from the ground up, it looks easy, but from the top down, you don't have visibility, right? I mean, our business is to reach out to young people, build brands which are buzzing. They have the insight. I mean, how much do you expect from 40 years old to understand the lives of 18 years old?
Yeah.
So it's important that we give power in the hands of who we are selling, really.
Well, that's the flip side. You've got someone in their 40s that's in their mid-career slump that's just looking to
Yeah.
cruise through. And sometimes you need those 18-year-olds that think they can change the world,
Yeah.
because sometimes they're right. So that's
Yeah.
the difference. And on that, your work at Leo Burnett in India, you've helped build some of the biggest brands, Amazon, Spotify. What's been the process and the challenges in working with these
Yeah.
cultural entities, if you will?
Yeah. So, we have a very simple model, and we believe that, people, especially in this part of Asia, have this insight that they like standing in longest queues, right? Because if there's so many people standing here, there must be something right about it. Why stand in any other queue and be mistaken, right? Because you're talking about emerging markets, you're talking about markets which are doing first, second, third flushes of consumption. Here, the cost of standing out is much higher than being right. So we build a model. We're saying that every brand must play the leadership game. So no matter where you debut, you could be number 4, number 5. For example, when we started working with Spotify, we were number 6 in India,
Wow.
right? But today we are number 1 in 2.5 years because we played the game like a leader. We said we'll come in, we'll have a posture of a leader, we'll talk like a leader, we build the category of audio in the market, music, podcast, all of that. And in 2.5 years, we are not just number 1 in India, we are number 2 in terms of subscriber base in the world.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That's exceptional, and I think that how have those on behind that work, how the other countries look back at this? Has your success turned out to really be a game plan for many other companies and countries as well?
Yeah, so I mean, couple of brands, in fact. So now Spotify, the playbook that we built out of Asia is now being implemented in Africa, in some parts of Middle East as we speak, many other markets, right? Similarly, say Amazon as a brand. When we started doing work for Amazon, India was the first country where we released television ads for Amazon.
Right.
Nowhere in the world had Amazon ever done advertising. And now, based on the India model, they are getting into newer markets and they are building the advertising, they're building their brand, and have had a lot of success based on that blueprint.
And why was there reluctance on television in India? Was that because perhaps people in San Francisco were using their knowledge and they had their
Yes.
blinkers on to the consumer
Yeah.
behavior?
Absolutely. So if you look at the whole value thinking, that value thinking is that you build a product that you already see a need for, right? So there's a need amongst people like you, and you build a product for that. That's the value mindset, right?
Yeah.
And you take that product, you bring it to a market such as India. There is no need for Amazon. We can go down our houses, and there's a neighborhood retailer who knows us by name. He will give me credit, and he will give me something plus something more. I don't need Amazon, right? So how do you build a market for a product such as Amazon in a market where there's no natural need, and therefore you need advertising, you need behavior change thinking, and so on and so forth.
And what was it about your campaigns, do you feel, that was so successful, despite those challenges, to make Amazon launch in India?
So what we did with Amazon and what we did with many other brands is that we realized that people don't like change. Nobody likes change, right? Your girlfriend doesn't like change. Your wife doesn't like change. Your bosses don't like change. People don't like change. People don't like surprises. But people buy new from grounds of familiarity, right? So we presented Amazon as something as exactly the same as what they were doing currently, which is a neighborhood retailer, right? So we presented Amazon as apni dukaan. It says your own shop, right? So you go to your neighborhood retailer, it calls you by name, right? Amazon calls you by name. You go to the neighborhood retailer, says, you know what? You bought that shirt last time. I've got three more colors in that shirt. Recommendation. Amazon has recommendation engine. When you go to your neighborhood and say, I didn't like this product, I bought it, take it back. He says, okay, no questions asked, I'll take it back. Amazon takes things back, no questions asked. Your neighborhood retailer gives you a credit. Oh, it's okay, you don't have no questions asked. Your neighborhood retailer gives you a credit. Oh, it's okay, you don't have money, no problem. Take this, you can pay to me next month. Amazon gives you cash on delivery. Right? So we likened the experience of Amazon to exactly the experience that you're familiar with, and that worked wonders.
The only thing you're missing out on is being able to talk about last night's IPL with the retailer. You seem to have had everything covered, which is amazing. Even in San Francisco, worldwide, what was the response to this success in India? What was the response from Amazon?
Oh, they loved it. They loved it. So one of our first campaigns was called Aur Dikhao in Hindi, which means show me more, right? Which is the Indian behavior, right? When you want to buy something, you go out and look at every shop that says that, and then perhaps go back to the first shop and buy it, right? We are a variety-seeking country. And that phrase became a buzzword in the corridors of Amazon in their international office.
You've had a remarkable career, Leo. The awards you've won, the success you've had. For someone who is finishing school now, and they are slightly creative, but maybe their parents want to push them into a traditional career, what advice do you have for someone leaving school?
I would say focus on what you love doing, right? I mean, an average career is 30 to 40 years long, right? It's hard to do something that you don't enjoy because half of your life goes in doing it. And if you enjoy something, I can 100% be sure that you will excel at it. I mean, when I passed out of college, I had an opportunity to become a finance consultant or to get into advertising, and I chose advertising.
Yeah, advertising can be an immense amount of fun. Many people may have seen the television program Mad Men. It's not quite like that. Maybe once upon a time it was, but not anymore. And we're seeing those 18-year-olds following their passion. But when we're looking at economically, we'll finish up by touching on those points you mentioned at the start. The need for creativity is sort of going to be even greater given there's a more reliance on Chat GPT. How do you train your mind and how do you train culturally to have more creativity?
I think creativity is actually about solving problems, right? So what you need to focus on is framing a problem and trying to solve it in the most interesting way possible. That's the layer beneath creativity. I mean, what you see from outside is, oh, wow, that's so clever, that's so interesting, that's so entertaining. But below that layer, somebody is solving a problem. Somebody is answering to a need, whether it's entertainment, whether it's cinema, it's a talk show, a piece of advertising. Below creativity is answering to a need, solving a problem. So if you focus and train your mind to solve a problem, you will succeed.
Yeah, it's great advice because Richard Branson always said that. Don't start out a business to make money. Start out the business that's going to solve a problem and help people, enrich people's lives. And I think that as we have more and more of that artificial intelligence, that creativity that you speak about, Dheeraj, is going to be all that more important. We'd love to speak to you further about your career and obviously your vision for business, but we're out of time. Dheeraj Sinha, the CEO of Leo Burnett, congratulations on your immense success right across India, and thank you for joining us on TSB.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Wonderful. TSB, Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.